Hey guys, welcome to Skipper Surf Review. I'm Yuri Tsudenov, and today I'm going to share my experience surfing the 7.0 Firewire Sunday in much better conditions like 3 to 5 East Coast waves. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and enjoy this episode. Let's get started. So this past weekend we got lucky on the East Coast and enjoy riding the swell from Tropical Storm Anna. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to ride this board at the peak of the swell, which was on Saturday. I roll out to the beach with my fish, and I was really surprised that the waves picked up really quickly. So I got out the next day on Sunday, and I think Rob would probably do the same. I had two sessions during the swell. One session was on a Mar twin fin set, and the other one was on a single fin, which was 7 inches through Ames. I personally like both fin setups prior to this day, and after two sessions, I think I love the single fin setup more, and I'll talk about that later in this episode. Just overall, I think the twin fin setup gives me great speed down the line, and I think even sometimes it's too much, and it surprisingly has a great hold through the turns. I feel like I can push a little bit harder on the bottom turn going backside, and the board wouldn't slide off. After putting more time into Sunday, I'm pretty happy that I finally dialed the takeoff game, which was really challenging before, and I was able to score a lot of inside waves that nobody wanted or could catch. I was literally sitting right below the shortboarders and could catch anything that would come through. Because they would just not be late or the waves would be too fat for them. Unfortunately, I don't count Sunday as a fast paddler like my Album Plasmic or CI Meet. It forces me to sit in the lineup with the short borders pretty much. I cannot sit like 2 feet above them. The board would not allow me to catch the best waves. I would literally have to sit with them. I mean, there's some instances maybe if you have longer arms, you can get it through easier. But for me, I couldn't do it. I tried, and so basically I would have to sit a little bit closer to the shoulder if the waves were a little bit steeper to take off. If it would take off right from the peak, like closer to the peak, with the priority, the board would pearl. I couldn't make any late drops. So if I had a little bit shorter size, I would say preferably 6'6", maybe 6'4". I don't think I will have any issues. But with the 7.0, it was pretty challenging. So this was the East Swell, and it mostly delivered long peeling lefts. But I was hoping to get more rights and show you guys how the board works going front side. I only cut a couple rights, and it was mostly cruising down the line and doing some floaters. However, taking more lefts allowed me to work more on my backside as well as the switch stance, which worked really nicely that day. Since it was a long period swell, I didn't have any issues doing duck dives, paddling out, except the white water in the impact zone. So I had to wait until it gets a little bit flatter, then I would get out. And we had a couple times those instances where I was a little bit late and I had to bail the board, making sure nobody's behind me. And yeah, that was just my experience. If it was a little bit short period swell, I wouldn't have any issues, I think, to get through the white water. Even like 1 foot white water would push me back a few feet back. So yeah, that was just a good experience surfing this board in this size swell. I think this board can handle even bigger size. I would definitely surf this board in 6 to 8, not barreling conditions. Maybe when it's a little bit fatter, mid to high tide. That's when I would take it out. So the second session was as a single fin, and to be honest, I love this fin setup, and I think it's used perfectly for the 7.0 Sunday. I can't speak on behalf of the short size. I don't know like how it would work for me if I was on a 6.0 or 5.9. I would probably prefer to surf the short size as a twin fin, but the 7.0 works really good as a single fin. The board got more freedom to move around. It became more responsive to do turns, and it also pivots really good. I feel like if I had a little bit shorter size, I would probably be too responsive for this board. I think like the 7.0, that range, if you're looking for the mid length for cruising, or if you want to do just like roundy turns, drawn different lines, I think the 7.0 fits pretty good in that department. And the board goes so easy top to the bottom, and it has a really good flow, and it was really more enjoyable than the twin fin. I think this setup is going to be my go-to from now on. If I surf this board a little bit bigger and steeper, I would probably use the side bites from Machado Quad to have a little bit more hold. And I wanted to mention that this board was set up with a 7 inches true Ames fin. I also have a 6.5, but for this bigger day, I prefer to have a little bit bigger fin to have a little bit more hold. I didn't get my 8 inches fin. I didn't want to even play with the, cheater 5 or trying to do hang 10 because the waves will come. Maybe a good set will come every 10 minutes, so I didn't want to screw up the wave. So I rode it all the way to the beach pretty much, and wanted to enjoy longer rides. And after testing this board in pretty much all conditions, I feel like I start to love Firewire Sunday more, and it opened up more options in terms of fin setup, and the single fin kind of changed the whole game for me now. I think if I would put any other fins into this board, I don't think it would make any significant difference in terms of getting more performance out of this board. What you can probably get with the different fin setups is just maybe a little more drive, but just in general, the board has that unique style of being really responsive. I don't think if you want to have a lot of responsiveness, because once it gets to that point, you can start to feel any mistake you make, and the board corrects it, I think, perfectly for you. That's about it. Thank you guys for watching. If you like my reviews, please subscribe. This will help to grow the channel. Also hit the like button with the notification bell to not miss the next episode. And as always, if you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. Also feel free to hit me up on Instagram. I always reply. I'm always glad to help. If you have any questions in terms of board selection, or if you need any help in terms of surfing as well, send me some clips. I can do some quick analysis, surf analysis, and send it to you. Thank you again for watching, and until next time, goodbye.